kill you and everyone you know and your whole goddamn family.
Action! 3, 2, 1, go!
When I read this script by Josh Olson, I thought, well, this is mainstream, but it has some very disturbing undercurrents, and I thought if the studio was willing to go where I wanted to take it, I thought it could be really quite good.
You know, this may be a fairly normal revenge and retribution script, but he can bring something to it. It'll be something else. It'll be better.
If you really put a gun to my head, I would say in some very broad ways, this ties in thematically with his interests. It stays within that range of ideas of people being sort of pushed to extremes emotionally and notions of identity.
And some of the movies that he's done are more of a physical transformation into a different identity. This one's an internal struggle.
I think that all his stories allow us to look at things that are uncomfortable to deal with. You know, he entertains you first and foremost, but secondly, he says, consider this.
The movie opens with myself and Steve McCaddy, who plays Leland, my partner.
Billy is his cousin, or cousin, no, his nephew, actually. Leland got out of prison about a year and a half ago and went down to visit the family and hooked up with Billy and decided he should show him the world. Sort of like a tutoring thing.
I think you might well find yourself slipping a bit in the blood. You're sticky on your boots. You like your boots.
I like my boots
The boots are nice boots. So.
A lot of directors are completely prepared before they get to set. They've got storyboards and they've rehearsed everything, and they get there, and it's kind of that Hitchcock model where he almost doesn't have to show up. Everything's ready to go, and you can achieve greatness doing that. David's got a very different approach. He doesn't storyboard, and he doesn't rehearse with the actors until he gets there. And then he starts feeling it out. He'll block the scene, he'll have them walk through it and see what works for them, and then he'll start designing his shots around them.
Good guy. Go this way. We let him get away from us. You see him steal a root beer, which is his worst crime. So we're loose, and then we go down to the cart. And we follow the cart across, and that shows us that there's somebody else dead there. And probably that could be a cut right there.
It feels as though it should be definitely one until then.
That's a cut.
I had always assumed from looking at those films and how beautifully they're put together and composed and how deliberate sometimes they seem, that these don't feel like movies that were designed on the day of shooting.
I don't make decisions exactly on the fly. I have to have some general thoughts in my mind about what I'm going to do.
There you go. Yeah.
I see it once on the 27th, please.
But it's true that I improvise on the day as anybody would.
Would you like to look at it once on this lens?
Okay.
It's not because I have problems.
Yeah, no.
Lighting problems with the other lens. It's just that I think it looks better
What's
on
what?
27.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think you'll get a better
Yeah,
feel.
I agree.
on that lens.
With David's movies, some people might think of effects and blood.
Multiple stab wounds in the chest. Throat cut. Your left arm, put it back. You can see your throat better. Lots of blood on the floor. Yeah.
It's never gratuitous, just for the sake of splatter, like zombie movies or something like that. There's a reason for it. It has its place in the picture.
His preoccupations have shifted over the last few years. He's more interested with what's going on underneath the surface of the actors.
Maybe as you come by, there's something you could reach for. You find your hand and come back. I'm not sure what. Let's think about that. Yeah. Maybe you ring the bell. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe you just do that. Give the bell. We'll bring it closer. Maybe yes, no. Which would alert the little girl, as well.
Right.
Often actors are worried about small, fussy, detailed things, which in the hysteria and the pressure of production, a director might say, well, I can't worry about that now, or it's not important, or no one will notice, or whatever.
And roll. Rolling. Play 89, take 7.
I try very hard to set the production up so that there isn't that hysteria, that I do have time and space and a crew that understands, including very much a director of photography, that these details do matter.
Action!
There's a lot of play involved in the creative act. We're grown-ups, but we are putting on funny mustaches and hats and calling each other by fake names and pretending to be somebody else. Of course, there's a lot of money, there's egos, there's reputations, there's pressure. But at the same time, you're playing, and you can't lose sight of that.
I wanted to play Billy because he's a bit of a psychopath, really. He does bad things to people.
Keep your finger to your lips, and then slowly it comes out.
In my real life, I have to be very good, so when I get the chance to be bad, I have fun doing it.
And then he shoots you. But we don't really shoot.
Hey, Brittany, how you doing? This is the fake gun I was talking about. See? There's nothing in it. It's got a little cap there.
There's something different about looking into a little girl's eyes than if someone else was standing in or if you're just looking at a piece of tape on a wall or whatever. Billy and Leland have done terrible things, but I think this is something new for him. I think he's never killed a little kid before, and I kind of wanted to know what that would feel like.